what's up everybody? This is Brian.
And I'm Logan. And that's Tops, and we're Crush Cards. Hey y'all, happy Monday, how you doing? So with all the new sets that have come out lately, we wanted to do an update and a revamping of our Shaddoll-Dino deck list because a lot of new cards have come out that are really, really strong, and this deck really benefits from those cards. Being that Shaddolls is a meta deck and Dino's now also being a meta deck, considering it somehow did not get hit on the ban list, bless God, these two decks together are an absolute powerhouse and they will literally whomp anything that interrupts them, and they synergize really well together. They can play through a handful of interruptions. I've been testing this deck and it is ridiculous how strong it is. And with a lot of new cards that came out, it's just even better now. Like, it's crazy. So I can't wait to show you guys this deck. It's absolutely whack. So sit tight, buckle up, because it's gonna be Dino beatdown Shaddoll time.
But before we get into the deck list, we just want to ask you guys to take 30 seconds and go down and hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. And if you are a subscriber, or if you're not, also hit the like button and comment down below what you guys think of this deck list. Check us out on Instagram. The links are in the description box, along with our links to Discord and Patreon.
And I don't know if it popped up for you guys, but if the merch shelf happened to pop up below the video when you started it, we have merch now that is shirts. So not only do we have the field centers and the stickers and everything from us, we also have a Teespring where we have shirts that have just launched. They're absolutely adorable. They're our sweet boy Tops with his little catchphrase sup, and they're amazing, they're adorable, they're comfy, they're cozy, and you should 100% check them out.
And speaking of merch, if you guys did want any of the stickers or the field centers that Logan talked about, our PayPal link is in the description box down below.
And now that you've done all that, let's get Jurassic Gear. That was a really bad joke. All right, profile time. All right, first up we play 3 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Whoa there. We play 3 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I know 3 seems like it's almost bricky, and some builds do only play 2, but in this build, we want to see him as soon as possible. He's not necessarily your only win condition because this deck also has these Shaddolls and has a really, really strong extra deck. This is just your easiest win condition, I would say, to get to. It's so easy to pump him out. So playing 3, you can either get him out the hard summoned way, or you can obviously do the double evolution pill way. So you can hard summon him by just banishing 2 dinosaurs, or you can double evolution summon him by sending Quatless, getting your double evolution pill, banishing a dinosaur and a non-dinosaur from your hand or graveyard, and then getting him out that way. And he's obviously a 3500 beat stick. That is a huge interruption on his own, and he inflicts 1000 to every defense position monster. And
he's the second best boss monster to ever be printed out of a structure deck, because what he does is he can destroy a monster in either player's main phase, and then he sets every monster that can be set. So it literally just turns off half of your opponent's stuff.
Yeah, so he's just a big walking Book of Moon, and if you can stop your opponent before they can either link away or do whatever they need to do for their combo, you basically just ended them, and they're gonna be really sad.
Yeah, and it's really good too when you go second and you can just shut off an entire board by flipping everything face down.
Yeah,
this card's really not fair.
This deck goes second. I mean, this is just a big walking 3500 beat stick. Play one of this big old brick. Don't worry, you'll open him every single hand. It's really great. If you somehow miraculously don't open Quatless, good news is you can normal summon Ovi, effect of Ovi, dump Quatless to the graveyard, effect of Quatless, get your double evolution pill, go crazy.
That's the main function of Quatless in the deck, which is why we only play it at 1.
Yeah, we aren't trying to summon Quatless the hard way,
no.
Use him for his interruption. This deck does not function around that. If you do, great. This deck is not doing that.
Yeah, you only play the 1 because it's a 41 card build and you want this in your deck, not in your hand.
Which will happen anyway, don't worry. Next up, we have 3 Soul-Eating Oviraptor, who somehow was not banned or limited or hit at all on the ban list. If you thumbs up if you're also confused as to how that didn't happen. So you play 3 Oviraptor. He's literally the best play starter. I would argue he's one of the best play starters in the game. He's a 1-card combo, 1-card beat board, 1-card win condition. He's so good. So you normal summon him, and on summon you pitch a dinosaur from deck to grave, or you can add one to your hand. It can be any dinosaur. It doesn't have to be level 4 or lower. Literally, it can be any dinosaur.
It can even search himself, like Ovi normal summon, get Ovi to hand, like it's crazy.
But yeah, he can search himself, he can send Quatless, he can add Conductor to hand, he can add Rex to hand, he can send Rex. Literally any play that you need, he can fulfill it. It is absolutely insane. And if you miraculously do not get axed from that, you basically win the game. He also has a second effect that we don't use super often, but obviously it's really good if you somehow need to. You can target a level 4 or lower dinosaur type monster on the field, destroy it, then special summon a dinosaur monster from your graveyard in defense position. This deck doesn't really revolve around that second effect at all whatsoever, but
yeah, spoiler alert, we don't play the field spell.
So if you're playing a pure dino variant, that's great and it'll work great for you, but this deck we really just We need the pitch or we need the ad. He's also a level 4, so keep that in mind when we get to the extra deck.
What's really good about this deck is like it's a 41 card deck, but it really feels like a 30 card deck because every card kind of just replaces itself. Like you normal summon Ovi, and then Ovi just either adds something to your hand or gets something that you need in your graveyard. And like Conductor's the same thing. Like Conductor, you can banish 2 cards, and then one of the banished cards typically comes back anyway. So the resource management in this deck is unbelievable.
Yeah, this deck recycles like nobody's business. It's so eco-friendly. Next up, we're only playing 2 Miscellaneous Saurus. Again, another card that is freed from the ban list, unlimited as hecky, and it's just wonderful. The only reason we play 2 is because you can search it out literally through 1,000 different ways in this deck. You can search it through Ovi, you can search it through Fossil Dig, you can summon it off of Petite, you can pretty much do anything you need to do with it and get it as fast as possible. So we only need 2. We're not trying to play an unnecessary amount of resources in this deck, so 2 is the perfect number. In case you don't somehow know what Miscellaneous Saurus does, during either player's main phase, you can ditch this card from your hand to the graveyard. Dinosaur type monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects.
And really good to note too that like this card, once you activate that effect, completely shuts off your opponent's Nibiru for your dinosaurs.
And his second effect, which is also ridiculous, is you can banish any number of dinosaur type monsters from your graveyard, including this card, special summon a dinosaur type monster from your deck with a level equal to the total number of monsters banished to activate this effect, but destroy it during the end phase. So say you have a Conductor on the field and you have this and a Rex in your graveyard, you can banish this and the Rex, summon out Petite. Rex will summon himself afterwards, and then you can use Conductor to destroy Petite and then get Petite off. It's absolutely wild. Then you summon an Ovi and then you just go into your combo and your opponent hates you and you win the game. It's great. We play 1 Rex. We do not need more than 1 Rex. You never really, I don't think anyone plays more than 1 Rex.
No.
This dude, it doesn't matter where he ends up. You banish him, great. He summons himself out. It doesn't matter. This guy's insane. Next up, we play 2 Petit Pteranodon. He is our level 2 dinosaur in the deck, and if he is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon a level 4 or higher dinosaur type monster from your deck, but it cannot attack this turn. Your typical summon off of Petite's effect is Oviraptor because you can get his effect off, but if you really somehow don't have Rex on the field or in your graveyard, you can summon Rex, or if you need to, you can summon this. So you have a lot of choices here. There's a lot of variability depending on the situation, but your main choice is usually Ovi because he's your combo. A lot of people choose to play Baby Ceratosaurus, which is absolutely fine. We just want our cards to be shiny and hollow, and Baby Ceratosaurus is still a common, and it's sad enough that I have Miscellaneous Saurus as a common. So, you know, we're trying our best to have the shiniest deck, so Petite it is! And that wraps it up for the Dino engine. We play a bit of a bigger Shaddoll engine than most people. First, we played 2 Shaddoll Dragon, just in the off chance that we end up in a long grind game. Dragon is really good in case you need a Compulse or a Spell Trap removal, so you don't have to play 2. We just play 2 because the utility it provides for the deck. To each his own. 1 Beast, the best boy.
I think it's ugly.
Wow, that's pretty mean. I didn't know we were roasting my Shaddolls. Yeah, he's not too cute. So we only play the 1 Shaddoll Beast. You don't need more than 1 of him. He is your free draw. He on flip summon, he draws 2 cards, discards 1, and then if he's pitched to the graveyard by a card effect, you can draw a card. So either way, you're drawing cards, which always looks nice in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!
For the first effect, draw 2, discard 1, that is actually an effect, so it can help you get some of your dinosaurs out of your hand into your graveyard, which is where you may need them to be. Or if you hit some of your Shaddoll cards, you can send them to the graveyard. You can just trigger their effects also.
Yeah, so if you discard Coatless off of this effect, you completely get Coatless off and you can add double the hand, which is absolutely awesome. Next, we play 1 Shaddoll Wendy. When she's flip summoned, you can special summon a Shaddoll from your deck in face up or face down defense position, except for Wendy, of course. And if this card is sent to grave by a card effect, you can special summon a Shaddoll from your deck in face down defense position. So she's basically a free body no matter what. She's your utility. You need a Compulse, you got it. You need to draw, you got it. You need to special summon a banished Shaddoll late game, you got it. She's just a really good utility card. You only play her at 1. You're typically trying to send her off of Shaddoll Fusion and getting her second effect to special summon 1 from the deck face down, which is a part of your main combo with the Shaddolls. Last for the Shaddolls, we play Nail Shaddoll Ariel. She is so good for the fact that she banishes 3 cards from your opponent's graveyard when she is sent to the graveyard by a card effect. Why is this so strong, you ask? Well, a lot of decks rely on the graveyard, and if you suck their cards out of their graveyard and banish them, they're not going to be able to get the effects off.
This 1 card is 3 DD Crows.
And then our honorary Shaddoll mention for the engine is Performage Trick Clown.
Look at that Euro print, baby.
Wow, he's pretty.
Shout out to Carl. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate the Euro print, buddy.
So we play Performance Trick Clown because he goes really well with your Shaddoll Construct Summoning combo. You typically send him and Wendy, and then he will summon out. You pay 1,000 life points, and he is a body. He's also a level 4. Isn't it weird how we're playing all these level 4s in this deck, guys? I wonder what that means. And he's a light. Ding ding. Moving on, we play 3 of everyone's favorite Danger. We play 3 Danger Mothman. He is so good in this deck, not only because he is a level 4, but he is a draw regardless. So if he's summoned, you get a draw. If he gets hit, you draw discard. The discard is really nice in this deck, obviously, because it triggers your Shaddoll effect. So either way, it's a win-win and you get a draw. And because we are a going second deck, we play the mandatory 3 secret rare Phantasme.
First deck.
So as we said, this is a going second deck, and this is obviously really good because so many decks still do rely on linking. Even though we are in MR5, that does not change the fact that links are still ridiculously good.
Yeah, we just want to put that myth to rest right now. Dual Overload just came out, and almost every single deck is playing Needle Fiber. Almost every single deck is playing Union Carrier. Like, every deck is still link summoning. So going into the, like, main decking 3 of this card is the smartest decision.
And again, it just says draw cards. So we always love doing that. We love drawing into combo pieces, and anything that is bricking your hand, you can just put back in your deck, shuffle it on up, and be done with it. And then you have a more solid hand going into your turn. Phantasme obviously also good because he provides you targeting protection. If your opponent tries to target any cards on your field, you can discard a card, negate the activation if you do destroy it. That's amazing. While the discarding is cost, so you don't get any effects off, it's still really good because you can send, like, if you have a Rex in your hand, you can send Rex to grave and get him there.
A lot of people also ask, what is a budget alternative for Phantasme? At this point, now the Dual Overload has come out and Phantasme has gotten a reprint, Phantasme is maybe a $12 card. Now, the budget option that we always offered was Danger Bigfoot because it pops cards and it helps you draw cards. But at this point, a secret rare Bigfoot is 10 to 12 bucks anyway, so just buy the Phantasmes.
Next up, we play 3 of possibly the most broken spell in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, and that is 3 Fossil Dig. Literally just says add a level 6 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck to your hand. Not a hard once per turn. You could play all 3 copies if you somehow needed to during a turn, but it's always funny if you use your Fossil Dig, your opponent is silly enough to ash you, and then you just activate a second Fossil Dig, and they're like, oh, okay. And then you just kind of watch them cry inside because they just use their ash. But you know, who's playing hand traps, am I right?
And also, like, you're going second deck, so you always start your turn with 6 cards, so this is really just good ash bait anyways.
And if they somehow have an ash and you can normal summon Ovi anyway, and you have a Miscellaneousaurus, you can just normal summon Ovi, activate effective Ovi, they ash you, you chain Miscellaneousaurus, and it doesn't matter anyway, so you can just continue playing. In the last profile, we're only playing this at 2. We realized that that was silly, and now we are playing 3 double evolution pills.
Secret rare first deck.
But also, it is your quickest way to get out Conductor. You search it off of Coatlas, which you dump off of Ovi typically. You banish a dinosaur and a non-dinosaur from your hand and or graveyard, and special summon level 7 or higher, blah, blah, blah. You summon Conductor. That's what the card says. Summon Conductor, banish cards, win. Next, we play 3 Shaddoll-Fusion, also an amazing going second card. If your opponent summons from the extra deck during their first turn, of course, this is great for you because that means you can use Shaddoll-Fusion and send monsters from your deck. And then, of course, going second, this plus Phantasme, you pretty much got the game in the bag because they have an extra deck monster out. You summon Phantasme, you have this card, you can activate this card and send it from the deck, and Phantasme allowed you to fix your hand, so you're good to go, fam. And of course, this just helps you with your utility pieces. You can send anything that you might need in that moment. You need an MST, you need to banish from grave, you need a summon, got it, it's there. You need to draw, amazing. So you can pretty much pick what you want to plus on, and it's amazing. Shaddoll-Fusion is so ridiculously strong. We play 1 L Shaddoll-Fusion. It's a quick play spell, helps you get into window on your opponent's turn and just ruin their day, which is our usual goal in this deck. And then because we are going second deck, we place 2 Super Polymerization. I don't feel like I need to explain Super Poly. We all know what this card does. You discard a card, fusion summon fusion monster from your extra deck, break boards. And being that Shaddolls is one of the biggest decks right now and the biggest engines, playing Super Poly is absolutely whack because you can just use your opponent's Shaddolls in order to go into your own and then just kind of flip the game on them and make them really upset. Foolish Burial, obviously, this is probably one of the best cards in the deck. It's a free combo, free plus.
Is that a first deck secret rare?
Oh my goodness, it is. I mean, again, do we need to explain Foolish Burial to you guys? Send Coatlas, send anything, because this is an effect. So you can get all of your Shaddolls off, do literally anything. Oh look, another brick! It's double or nothing. Oh yeah, did you remember all those level 4s I was mentioning to you guys earlier? Yeah, they weren't for nothing. They were for double or nothing. Double or Nothing is the biggest brick next to Coatlas in this deck. You will always open it, so don't count on getting this off. But if you somehow don't, or you Phantasme and you can put it back in your deck, you're good to go and you'll win. And if you need to somehow discard and you need discard fodder, you can just send this. I mean, what are you gonna do at that point? But Double or Nothing is hella strong in this deck because you can go into 2 level 4s like Pancakes. That's for you, you seen. You overlay your level 4s, go into Utopia double, get this out of your deck, and then go into Utopia. and then, you know, do the whole Utopia spiel, blah, 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 negate the attack, play double or nothing, hit for 10k, congratulations, you just won. And then again, we are a going second deck, so we have to play the 2 Lightning Storm because we are too poor for 3 and we pulled these ones, so I don't want to hear it. This card's nuts going second. I mean, it destroys either all attack position monsters your opponent controls or all spells and traps your opponent controls. And while people might be like, oh, this conflicts with Phantasme because Phantasme will be face up on the field, you gotta weigh your options, people. Like, if you open up a Phantasme and a Lightning Storm, you need to assess the board, see what you can do. If you want to wait in Lightning Storm, if they obviously put out 8 negates, don't play Lightning Storm first. Get the Phantasme out, get the draws, and do what you can, because if they're gonna just negate your Lightning Storm, don't waste it. You have to assess your field. It's not a conflicting card combo, and odds are of you opening up Phantasme and Lightning Storm are pretty slim. It doesn't happen super often in testing, and if it does, and you Phantasme, you can just put it back in your deck or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of versatility with it. We don't want to lose to back row. Like, that is not something we want to do. Lightning Storm, obviously a ridiculously strong card. If you can't get your hands on one, play Twin Twisters. And then the 41st card in the deck is Shaddoll Incarnation. This card is also really good because when you go into your Construct play and you send your Wendy and your Trick Clown, you use Construct to send this, and then you can just activate its effect whenever you need to during the turn, banishing it and your Wendy or whatever. And you can flip a face down monster you control into face up defense position, which is typically your Shaddoll Beast because that's what you set off of Wendy. And then you get the 2 draws and the discard. So this is just a great extender piece and a great combo piece. So. And then moving on to the extra deck, we play 1 Penistag. We literally only play him because it says if your linked monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. It's great with Conductor. You put Conductor underneath it, bam. We cut down to 1 Shaddoll Construct because we realized we only needed it and we needed more room in the extra deck, so 1 Construct it is. When this card is special summoned, you can send a Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard. It's typically going to be the trap. And then at the start of the damage step, if this card battles a special summoned monster, you destroy the monster. So this is just, it doesn't even go into damage calculation. It's just at the start of damage, this card just non-targeting destroys. It's amazing. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, like most of the Shaddoll fusions, you can add a Shaddoll spell trap from your graveyard and add it to your hand. Then we play 1 Winda, of course. She is your absolutely broken little floodgate of her own, and we love her very much. She cannot be destroyed by card effects, and each player can only special summon once per turn while she is face up on the field. If you end up having to go first, you can go into your Winda and basically just sit on that until your opponent tries to figure out what to do with their life. And even then you can get Winda out, and you can still get out Conductor if you really want to, and you have that interruption as well. Then we play 1 Chickenada because it mainly helps you get your Rex into your graveyard. And then when a special summon monster activates its effect while you control a Shaddoll card in your hand, you can negate the activation and destroy that monster and send the Shaddoll card from your hand to the graveyard, which is an effect, so of course you will get the effect of the Shaddoll off as well. And then of course, when it goes to grave, you can add your Shaddoll fusion or whatever spell you need. And then we play the 1 Shaddoll App Cologne.
Al Capone.
I think this card is absolutely great. It can't be destroyed by battle, and its effect says if this card is special summoned, you can target a face-up card on the field and negate its effects, and that is negate their effects forever. It's not just for the turn, and it's a card. It's not just a monster. So you can hit back row with this. You can target Zombie World. You can shut Zombie World off and still go into your Dino plays, since Zombie World is a really difficult matchup since you need your dinosaurs. You can,
Hi, it's me.
Yeah, you can shut off floodgates. You can shut off whatever you need. So this card is so good for just getting out of those hard to deal with situations. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Shaddoll card from your deck or graveyard to your hand and then discard a card. So again, just keep on using those utilities and getting those plays off. And then we have our super poly targets. We have the 1 Starving Venom and the 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp. Starving Venom, as we know, is 2 dark monsters on the field, and then Mud Dragon of the Swamp is 2 monsters with the same attribute but different types. Mud Dragon's also a really good negation if you need it. It says once per turn, quick effect, you can declare 1 attribute. This card becomes that attribute until the end of the turn, which obviously plays into the first effect that says your opponent cannot target this card or monsters on the field with the same attribute as this card with card effects. So obviously those two play with each other really well, and you can use the effect in order to protect your own stuff. Neat.
And Starving Venom is really, really good too, because if you find yourself in a pinch, you can actually destroy this off of Conductor, and then yes, you lose your Conductor, but like this will blow up the entire board. So if you've got something that like a board that you can't really break and you can super poly this out, it's crazy. Like just pop this off of Conductor and then nuke the whole board.
And then if you have your combo pieces in hand, you can just combo off anywhere. Then we play our 2 little boys. We play Evilzar Doka and we play Lagia. These cards are basically what you call your solemns in the deck. So this one is during either player's turn when a monster effect activates, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, negate, and destroy.
Not a hard once per turn.
So this is your strike, and then this is your judgment. So Evilzar Lagia says when a monster would be normal or special summoned or a spell trap card is activated, you can detach 2 materials from this card, negate the activation, and destroy. So these are just your really good solemn replacements for the deck. And this is an ulti. Then we play one Abyss Dweller. Obviously, Abyss Dweller is really strong because it just shuts off the graveyard. This card is literally strong enough to cripple entire decks for a turn, and you have 2 chances to use it, so 2 turns of absolute sad times for your opponent. Then we have Tornado Dragon. Again, we don't really run a lot of back row hate in this deck, and he's just super easy to get out because he's 2 level 4s. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach a material from this card, target a spell trap on the field, and destroy it. Then we have our Utopia package. We have Utopia Double, Utopia, and Utopia the Lightning. These cards are all really, really great because obviously you use Utopia Double to get into your Utopia, and then you can obviously use these cards to get into your Utopia the Lightning. And Utopia the Lightning is really great because in damage, he can detach 2 materials from this card, and his attack becomes 5,000 during damage calc only. And if you open the double or nothing, you still have a bunch of damage to get on board. And if your opponent stops your Utopia Double and they ash it or whatever, you can still go into your Utopia the Lightning. And then last but not least, we play Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. This card's great. You can use 2 Conductor or Shekanaga in order to go into this card. It's 2 level 10s. Once per turn, you can detach a 1xyz material from this card and inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. Holy moly, that's nuts.
That's a lot of burn damage.
Yeah, it's absolutely whack. That's a lot of damage, and B, really good in time. This card's so good. Like, I mean, it's free in this deck too, so burn for game.
Jokingly.
Wow, that was really good. That was a really good impression. And that's the deck, folks. So now we're going to do a test hand just so I can show you guys how this deck plays and how it really functions, so that you're not like, Logan, what do I do? How do I make this work? This deck bricks. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, it absolutely does, but you know what? We're gonna make it work together, and I'm gonna show you guys. All right, but before we do anything, look at this cute field center of all of our dinosaur sons. Look at how sweet they are. Oh, I don't hope it's not glaring too bad. We get our field centers done from our lovely friend at Cardboard Gaming. The links are in the description box down below, and if you use the code CrushCards10, you'll get 10% off your first order. And oh my God, look at that. Oh, it's tops, high tops on a field center. What? And then if you want to help support us as a channel, we also have field centers, and links for that are in the description box down below as well. We have lots of field centers, and we have stickers too. These are $10, so if you use the PayPal link below, you can simply just send us $10, give us your address and your name, and we will send you an adorable, perfect field center of our son that I designed myself. So now my opponent's gonna cut, and we're gonna brick really hard because we're test handing for you guys, and that's naturally what happens. All right, we're going second, so we're ripping 6.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh.
We win. We super win. Well, that's fine. Amazing. Great. All right, so that's typical what you should expect. It's not, I mean, that's what the game is. All right, so of course we're gonna activate Shaddoll Fusion. Whoop. So we sent Wendy and the Clown. We're trying to go for Construct. Oh, it's MR5. Oh my God. So we'll go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, Chain Link 3, Clown. So Clown will come out, will special summon Clown, paying 1,000. Wendy will special summon one from the deck, we'll set Beast, and then Construct will send one. We send Shaddoll Incarnation. So now we're gonna activate the trap. We're gonna banish it. And Wendy, because we have this in hand, so it works out really well, we're gonna flip, and we're gonna flip up our Beast, and now we're gonna draw 2 and discard 1. Gonna scooch everything over. So we draw a double, and we draw a Shaddoll Fusion. Amazing. So we're gonna discard our Ariel because it is an effect, and we want to get her out of our hand, and now we can take out 3 cards and banish them. So that really sucks if they're relying on their graveyard. Big bummer to them. Now just take a look at this board. We have 3 bodies on board. We've taken 3 cards out of their graveyard, and we still have 6 cards in our hand, and we have not even normal summoned, guys. Like, this is whack. So with that being said, we're going to normal summon Oviraptor, we're going to activate Ovi's effect, and we're going to chain Miscellaneousaurus to protect ourselves. And because you just want a dinosaur in your graveyard, we're gonna send Rex because we already have Evolution and a Conductor in our hand. So now before we activate our double Evolution pill, we're gonna link away so that we have some zones free. So we play our 1 link, we're gonna link away into our Pentastag right here. So now we have 3 zones freed up, and now we can activate our double Evolution pill using Rex. And whatever, we'll use Ariel. Put him right there because, you know, Pentastag. And then Rex, since he was banished, will summon himself. Barp. So now we have 2 level 4s on board. You can go into your rank 4 plays for any utility play you might need. If you need to pop back row, if you need your Solemns, be it via Lagia or Dolka, pretty much anything you need, you can have at this point, except double or nothing. So let's say for the sake of the test hand, they have back row. We're gonna overlay into Tornado Dragon. We're gonna activate Tornado Dragon. We're gonna detach a material. We'll detach Ovi, and we'll pop a back row. We'll pop their field spell, we'll pop whatever garbage they have in the back row. And then, oh my God, look at that. We have 2 dinosaurs in our graveyard. We have a Mist and we have an Ovi. So guess what we're gonna do, folks? We're gonna add insult to injury and really just make them feel bad about themselves. And we're gonna summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno by hard summoning. because we use double to summon out the first one, we can hard summon the second one. And oh my god, that is 791, a lot, and more. So we have more than game. We probably have nearly double game on board, and we haven't even activated Conductor. So like you could pop the Tornado Dragon, you could pop the Pentastag, and you could flip them all face down and Book of Moon them, and then you can attack for 1k each. You can just beat them down. You can activate Construct to destroy and damage. Like it's crazy. And if you somehow aren't able to kill them by the end of battle and they somehow have something to interrupt you with, you can overlay these two into Gustav Max and then just burn them for 2k and win anyway. And then just like that, folks, you won the game. Isn't that just beautiful? And that's while opening Double or Nothing. So again, Double or Nothing, definitely not a win condition in this deck. Again, it's not about having one single win condition in this deck. It's about having multiple win conditions that can spam the board all at once and then just absolutely run your opponent down. So that's the deck. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I hope you had fun. I hope this was informative for you. If you would like to see a test video that we did with the zombies for him of like about a month ago, I would love to do it for the Shaddoll-Dinos. If you would like to see a longer portion of test hands, combos, what you should do against different decks, etc., that would be really fun. So just let us know if you're interested. But thanks for hanging out, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel. We really are growing really fast, and it's super amazing, and we're really grateful for it. But your subscribing really does help, and it means a lot. So also comment, like, check out the Discord. We have the links in the description. Check out the Patreon. We have a lot of really fun rewards. We have deck building and dueling sessions with us. And check out the Instagram. We are at Crush Cards YGO. I post a lot of the videos that we will be doing. I post sneak peeks, I post stories, and we just basically post a lot of updates as to what will be coming. So if you ever are curious on what we're doing with the schedule, just go to the Instagram, and we respond to messages all the time, and we love talking to you guys. We have a lot of really fun stuff coming up this week, so I hope you stay tuned and get excited. Let me know what you think of this deck. Do you like the Shaddoll engine in a different deck? What deck do you like playing the Shaddolls in? Do you play the Dinosaurs? I love this deck. I think it's becoming my new favorite deck for MR5. So have a great day, guys. We love you. You matter. I think Tops wants to say one final goodbye. Bye. And we'll see you in the next video, guys. Mwah.